Hello, everyone. This is Randy Snow from the World of Football, along with my son Adam. And we're here today to talk about the Arena Football 1 season beginning this weekend. We're just a few days away. A lot of things have been happening in the last few days, but we thought we'd just give a preview of the season and what's been going on lately. So, um, Adam, you want to say anything before I get into my spiel?
Look, I know a lot of people are gonna say it's the same thing we were going through last season, and if you haven't been paying attention, I mean, and if you have, yeah, I think on the outside it does look like it's the same old spiel again. Like a league that's selling a snake oil. But I think there's something more to this league. I think a lot of people are just being too quick to jump on it and being negative. And yes, there's a lot of negative stuff that we're going to talk about. That's the harsh reality of talking about this league and this business. But I think there's plenty of good and plenty of positivity around this league that has me optimistic about this season.
Yes. Yeah. Well, let's start out with the basics. The 2025 AF1 season begins on Saturday, March 8th. They're calling it Week 0. Originally, they're supposed to have two games this weekend, a Saturday game and a Monday night game. But on Saturday, it was supposed to be the Orlando Predators at the Southwest Kansas Storm, and then they had a Monday night game scheduled, the Nashville Cats at the Corpus Christi Tritons, a new team in the league this year. And now they're down to one game because the Orlando Predators were removed from the schedule on Tuesday of this week when the owner said that he wanted to sell the team and not compete this year. He didn't think he'd be able to make a profit or something on the season. There's so many conflicting stories coming out of Orlando, but the bottom line is 4 days before the season was supposed to start, I think he blindsided everybody in the league by saying, you know what, we're not going to play this year. And so the league just said, okay, you're out, and they terminated them from the league. That's as simple as I can make it right now. There's so many things we don't know just yet, but that in a nutshell is what happened recently. So now the only game this weekend is going to be on Saturday, and the Nashville Cats are going to go and play at the Southwest Kansas Storm on Saturday night. Um, the Tritons' first game is going to be the following week. So um, one team out, another team steps in. There's been a lot of different things flying all over the place. Let me just read a little bit of the statement that the AF1 put out, and this is on Tuesday, 4 days before Orlando was supposed to hit the field in Southwest Kansas. We were informed today that the Orlando Predators intend to break their commitments to their fans, players, and coaches. Predators owner John Chaney informed us that he has decided to no longer compete this season in Arena Football 1. Given this abrupt notice, their membership in Arena Football 1 has been terminated effective immediately. There's more to the statement, but I'm just giving you the basics here. If you want to read that, you can find it on Facebook, Twitter. Several places have been posting this sort of thing. The Predators came out with their own rebuttal, and I'm not even going to read any of it because most of it doesn't make any sense to me. From a team that called it quits 4 days before the season started, there's no justification for that. So I'm sorry. I'm not going to read their statement. So, Adam, what do you think about all this?
Blindsided, I think, is the appropriate term, and the league's getting a lot of blame for this. So far the facts seem to be pointing at Orlando. Both statements, though, are interesting, and it's been a really weird back and forth war of words. With the league putting out that statement, which was a pretty spicy statement. Like there was some definite shade thrown in that statement, which I get, but at the same time, I mean, you would like a little more professionalism, I think, in your league statement. But hey, I get it. It's a team that is causing a headache 4 days before their season is supposed to begin, because the ramifications of this is supposedly coaches, players, apparently even the social media staff not knowing that this was happening, because they still put out a post like that day about taking the field for practice and all that. It was very ill-timed and not a great look.
Yeah.
I mean, the league's scrambling. We're going to go through our fourth schedule change, which is something else that we've had to deal with. Well, we'll talk about the other teams too. I mean, this obviously this isn't the first team that we've had issues with going into the season, but it's not a great look. The Billings Outlaws owner Steven Titus has come out even on his social media and put out a couple of tweets about this. And I mean, I remember we had our interview with him a few months back, and full disclosure, I mean, we're not super close friends with Steven Titus, but we consider him a friend. He's a friend of the show. He's hung out with Randy. He's chit chatted with us. So I'm not trying to sound biased, like, oh, we're on Steve's side, but Steve's, seems like he's just trying to be transparent with everybody, and he has been since the whole Lee Hutton debacle last season. So, but he did say on our show, remember, he did say that when we were joking around that he thought we'd get along with the Predators owner. He told me that he'd probably be a guy, if we just tried to talk to, we'd probably have a great time chit-chatting with him. So we had nothing but good stuff to say at that point, and here we are, and it's about face. A lot of accusations, a lot of finger pointing right now. But we were going to try to stick with as much as the on-field and positive stuff as we can, because that stuff's going to get messy, and other people can delve into that and complain about that. And I think we've done quite a bit of that, talking about just the gist of what the situation is, and we could probably move on. But it's not a good look for the Predators, a long-standing, pillar in indoor and arena football. It's very unfortunate for those fans, that town, players and coaches especially, because while everybody's going to say this reeks of last year's Arena Football League, to me, though, as far as I'm aware, players are still getting paid. Players are getting taken care of, even despite some misreporting a few weeks back about Corpus Christi and some stuff. But I don't know. I think the league doing this, it's for the betterment of the league going forward, and why keep a team around that is going to do that 4 days before your season starts.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, not even the first team they terminated. So.
Yeah. The last thing I'm going to say about all this is that there have been several of the other teams, the Washington Wolfpack and Billings and Southwest Kansas and a couple others, came out with their own statements saying, we're fine, the league's fine, everything's okay, nothing to see here. But they've all come out and said positive things about the season going forward without Orlando. So hopefully we'll be able to put this behind us here pretty soon. So that leaves
proof will be in the pudding. Like they gotta put up and shut up.
Yeah,
put up or shut up. I mean, we'll see if this league, is as stable as they say they are, despite what's happened with a couple of these teams. And I don't know where you're gonna go next, but I know we got a couple other teams that also had a similar situation, where the league kicked them out leading up to this, because we were originally supposed to start with 12 teams.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be 12 teams. We're down to 9 currently going into this weekend. So obviously Orlando, what was it, last month? The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Mavericks.
Yep.
Were terminated
from the schedule.
Yep. And they were also there. And then who else?
The Wichita Regulators. And then 2 other teams that were announced early in the process when last season was over with. They announced the Monterey Kings down in Mexico and also the Stockton Crusaders in California. And those 2 teams have been pushed back to the 2026 season. That was way before the season schedule came out. So, that was like a work in progress. So, I mean, they didn't wait till 4 days before the season to say, we can't do it. We're not ready. Fine, whatever. So the 9 teams that they're going to go into 2025 with are the Albany Firebirds, the Billings Outlaws, Southwest Kansas Storm, Oregon Lightning, Washington Wolfpack, Nashville Cats, Salina Liberty, Arizona Bandits, and the Corpus Christi Tritons. Now, the Arizona Bandits, I've been reading some things about them, saying that they have no arena. They've not announced what an arena they're possibly going to be playing in there in Phoenix, and they've not sold any tickets yet. And so I went onto the Arena Football One website earlier today, and I looked at a couple of teams, especially Arizona, to see if I could buy any tickets for any games for them. And they only had one game through Ticketmaster that you could buy tickets to, and that was an away game at Albany on May 31st. So I don't know if they have. It sounds like it might be true that they have not announced their arena yet, and probably haven't sold any single game seats for any of the games. So I don't know what's going on there. But a few of the other teams were kind of in the same situation. They haven't sold any single game seats yet. They're selling season ticket packages and group things and all that. So I don't know if that's a big deal or not, but I think everybody else knows what arena they're going to be playing in. Is it possible that Arizona might be a travel team this year? I I hope not. You hate to see that, but we'll just have to wait and see. They don't play a game for 2 weeks, so they've got a couple weeks to get that information out there. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's
according to
see.
the schedule, that they release, I know they're gonna update it, but yeah, any of the Arizona home games as you're scrolling through, even just the main league schedule right now, there is no ticket option next to any of the Arizona Bandit home games.
Hmm. Hmm.
So could it be a cause for concern? I mean, when you're 4 days out we're recording this on a Thursday night. Game starts Saturday. We're 2 days out. Still no, and I know their games technically don't start for a couple weeks, but it is a
Right.
little worrisome. You're hoping that
Yep.
maybe there's some logistical stuff that they're still taking care of, hopefully. But we'll see. And there's a couple other things. I mean, 2 days before the season, we haven't seen that bugged me personally is the uniforms and helmets. No official unveiling. Okay, guys, like we're 2 days out, and I haven't seen a single one. Not that it was required, but it would have been nice. Don't you want to show off your league, your new uniform partner, all
Sure.
that? And nothing's been
Sure.
coming
Yeah.
out. And
Hmm.
I mean that really stinks. No real concrete playoff format, no name of the championship game. Uh, so still a few things, and I get it. While a lot of people just think that this Arena Football One is just the Arena Football League rebranded, foundationally, while they've got some of the teams that are from that last league, it's from an organizational standpoint, it's kind of a new thing. It's a new entity.
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of things,
Right.
new systems are putting into place, starting a brand new league. So, I mean, we're gonna have some give and take to go with that. I mean, it's gonna be some growing pains this first season, and hopefully, they're just figuring their stuff out to be stronger going forward. That's the optimist in me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all the teams are in training camp right now. Training camp's open for all the teams, so they're all practicing. They're making their final roster cuts and getting their rosters set. So things will be moving fast in the next few days and the weeks to come. But the one thing
Yep,
we
and
do know is that the championship game will be played at the team with the best record this year. It's not going to no
yeah,
more brawl at the mall this year. No neutral site. It's going to be whoever's got the best record. That's the team that's going to host it with between the last two teams standing.
as it should be, I think, starting out.
Yes,
So,
absolutely, absolutely.
but can I also throw out there real quick some of the
Sure.
there's not a lot of players I think people will be familiar with if you're not really in tune with the arena football, indoor football scene. The big Arena Football One player move is undoubtedly that of wide receiver Darius Prince going from the Albany
Yep.
Firebirds and taking his talents down to Corpus Christi, and now he's going to be playing for the Tritons. So that's a fascinating situation. Very curious move. I know he spoke with their official league podcast or YouTube channel about it. So that'll be something to watch out for. One of the all-time arena greats taking his talents down there to a new team to the league.
Yeah, it's going to bring a lot of attention to them. They played in the AF1 last year, and I don't even think the
No,
AF1's playing this
this is
year.
the first season. This is the first season for the AF1. You mean the
No,
National
I
Arena
mean
League?
the AIF. I'm sorry.
Oh,
The Corpus
AIF.
Christi
Okay.
team was in the AIF last year. The AIF is not, as far as I know, is not playing this year. I think all their teams have just gone other ways. But yeah, so I think it's good for a brand new team coming in that they've got a real big star that everybody knows and they want to see how is he going to do with a new team. So I think that was good on his part, good for the league, good for the Corpus Christi team.
Right. Anything else you
Okay.
want to hit?
No, that was kind of all the bullet points that I had that I wanted to talk about. I'm excited for the season. Uh, I I tried to get into that. What is it, Evergreen now? And
Oh, yep. Let's
I
yeah. Let's They're streaming partners. Let's talk about that real quick. How are you going to be able to watch these games? Look, if you aren't scared away by a lot of the turmoil and stuff that's been happening, the couple ways you're going to be able to watch it is on this Evergreen Now. It's a free app to download on your phone. I believe it is also on your TV. I haven't downloaded it on my TV yet, but I just downloaded it on my phone literally right before we hit record, just to kind of see how it is. And they already got the game up for this weekend as a preview. Like, it's scheduled to be played on Saturday night. So that's how you're gonna be able to stream a lot of the games. And then the other one is Vice
TV.
TV.
Yep.
Yep.
See, I get that
So
one on my satellite dish. So, and they're supposed to have a Sunday night game. Uh, you know, probably not this week. With the week 0 and all. And I don't know if they'll have the Saturday night game on Vice, but starting with week 1, they should have a game every week on Vice. So yeah, I'll be able to get that one on my TV.
right. And look, you can obviously follow the AF1 on all the multiple social media platforms. You can go to their website, theaf1.com. They seem to be keeping that one pretty up to date. Yeah, they're working on retweaking the schedule, but uh, 9 teams, should be a lot of fun. Should be some good rivalries. I think an Albany Billings matchup this year should be a lot
Yeah.
of fun.
Yep.
And let's just hope for a good season. I know usually we at the end of these type of videos we predict who's going to win the whole thing. Hard to say this year. I don't think we should. It's a brand new league, and let's just hope that they make it to the end with no further hiccups. Right now, we got our eyes on you, Arizona Bandits. Let's get your poop in a group.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with all the problems. I'm still looking forward to another arena season. Um, Last year, I went to a game down in Nashville. It's the first time I'd ever been down there for a game. I went to the Arena Bowl last year. I might go back to Nashville for another game this year. Um, who knows? I'll look around and see what's out there and who's playing when but I'd love to go to a game here and there and check it out this year. Maybe even go to the championship game, no matter where that's at. I don't know.
We'll
We
have
shall
to wait
see.
and see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, as we wrap up, everybody, we have a weekly podcast, This Week in the World of Football, which returns this Tuesday, March 11th, available on all podcasting platforms, most podcasting platforms. So go give us a listen. We'll definitely be recapping week 0 of the AF1, and we've been having a 3-week break on the podcast. We got a lot of other football news to catch up on. Some other leagues starting up too this weekend. So we'll get to all of that. Also, you can find us on multiple social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. All those links are also down in the description below.
Okay, so that's it for this particular episode. Looking forward to the AF1 season, and hopefully it'll be a good one.
Yep. I just hope no more wheels fall off this wagon. Let's just have a successful season, everybody.
Fingers crossed.